Karen's obsession with control reached a terrifying peak when she broke into my ranch using a master key, claiming she needed to check on my pets. She insisted that my animals were dangerous and required her intervention. What she didn't realize was that my K-9 German Shepherd was not only trained for protection but had been extensively conditioned to respond to threats with precision. Karen's audacity was about to collide with preparation, authority, and instinct in a way she could never have imagined. It was early morning when my security cameras detected movement near the barn. Karen had apparently entered the ranch quietly, thinking that her master key would allow her unrestricted access without consequence. She moved confidently, ignoring the perimeter alarms and motion sensors, fully convinced she was in the right. Her overconfidence was palpable, and she had no idea she had just activated every safeguard I had meticulously put in place. I observed from the security station, noting her every move. The cameras captured her approach to the kennel area, where my German Shepherds were housed. These weren't ordinary dogs. They were trained protectors, alert to both unauthorized human activity and specific commands I issued remotely. Karen, unaware of this, had crossed the invisible boundary between recklessness and danger. As she reached for the kennel gates, my K-9 team was dispatched. A sharp, commanding bark echoed across the barn, startling Karen. She froze, realizing something was amiss. The dogs, responding to remote cues, began circling strategically, creating a perimeter between her and the rest of the ranch. Her confident stride faltered into panic as the dogs advanced, demonstrating controlled but unmistakable protective behavior. I stepped into the scene, calm and authoritative. "Karen," I said, voice firm, "you are trespassing. Step back immediately, or the consequences will be severe." Her eyes widened in fear as she finally grasped the seriousness of the situation. Every defensive bark, every controlled movement of the dogs, made it clear that she had severely underestimated both my preparation and the loyalty of my animals. She attempted to backtrack toward the entrance, but the K-9s, trained to guide intruders to safe containment zones while protecting property, blocked any reckless retreat. Karen's frantic movements and desperate shouts only reinforced the evidence of her trespassing and reckless interference. I had already contacted local authorities, who were en route and ready to apprehend her safely. When law enforcement arrived, Karen was still surrounded by the disciplined, alert dogs, her bravado replaced with panic. The officers immediately took control of the situation, detaining her for trespassing, unlawful entry, and endangerment. My security footage provided undeniable proof of her actions, from breaking in with the master key to attempting unauthorized access to my property and pets. By late morning, the situation was fully resolved. The ranch was secure, the dogs returned to their kennels, and Karen's arrogance had collapsed entirely. Her attempt to manipulate, intimidate, or control my property had spectacularly failed, and her actions now exposed her to serious legal consequences. As I walked through the ranch later that day, the sun casting long shadows over the fields, I reflected on Karen's repeated failures. Her obsession with control had brought her face to face with a force she could not anticipate: training, preparation, and authority. The ranch remained fully protected, my pets safe, and every boundary respected by both law and discipline. By nightfall, Karen's intrusion had become a cautionary tale. My 12,000-acre ranch was calm, secure, and untouchable. Every action she had taken had been anticipated, documented, and neutralized. The lesson was unmistakable. Audacity without preparation, arrogance without foresight, and interference with trained authority always ends in failure. The ranch, my K-9 team, and my authority remained unchallenged, standing as an impenetrable fortress against reckless ambition and arrogance. Karen's reckless actions had failed spectacularly, leaving her humiliated, legally exposed, and a clear example of the consequences of overstepping boundaries.